Hello and welcome back to Colonial Kerbals. Now in the last episode, you remember I had just gotten the agriculture module up into the space station. Since then I've updated TAC life support and it has changed the consumption rates and amounts of life support and modules and everything else. While doing so, this also changed how much food I had available on my station. I went from 78 days down to 49 days. I wasn't very happy about this at first, but then I thought, it's a good way to make a challenging mission. So I went ahead and launched up something to kind of fill in this gap. I also launched a second mission, which we'll go to here first because this will be the one coming up. And you're going to notice one thing right away when this loads. I have Kerbal Engineer installed. Now I have it installed for one reason, that's for testing purposes. But I'm thinking I may just run it because it has some useful features that I can use. One thing you want to do with this that I found out is right here, disable crossfeed. If you don't, you will run out of fuel in your top portion of your stage. Oops. I've got my hands on the wrong keys. You'll also notice that it's a lot brighter. Extremely brighter. That's because I installed the ambient light mod. So now you can kind of see the background or stuff clearer in the dark side of the planets. All I'm doing right now is I'm getting into position. And okay. I put that on so basically it'll brighten up the scenery a little bit, so I don't have to do near as much editing in post. And also in this video you'll notice that I have increased my video resolution. I'm giving it a shot. I'm going to try 1080p and see how that works out. Let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit. There we go. It actually makes everything look a lot crisper, I think. Now, there will be a little bit of editing in the end of the video, or in the video as I'm processing it. Whoa, 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 whoa. What the heck? Okay, well. Oh crap, I screwed up. Okay, well, I'll go ahead and hold F8. Actually, I'm going to bring you back into this. I just wanted to show you. I forgot. I had a nice version of an eclipse right here. Okay, for this, add a maneuver. Put it for 30. 30. 0. And add an alarm. This one, we really only need it for 15 before. Okay. So, with that, we can switch back to this guy here. Because apparently when I resaved, or when I brought back up the save, it screwed up the screwed up my maneuver nodes and everything from when I first did this. So basically now, really don't need Kerbal Engineer right at the moment. Okay. So what this is this is a habitation ring and a storage pod. And the storage pod has one unit, oops, this is going to be too bright, has one unit of biomass on it. There it goes. And we'll go ahead and get into position here. And we'll just keep watching this. And boom. There we go. So now we have a pretty close intersect. And we can go ahead and add a maneuver here for about 1 minute before. And then switch over to here. Basically, this is a two-part mission. Now I can go on with this one and explain what this is doing. This has no power, hardly. So we'll turn that off. Basically, this has to get out to Mun. Okay, we'll hold on to that one. And we'll turn this back on. And hopefully it doesn't kill our power off too badly. This has to get out there and test this landing gear, this decoupler, and the ion engine. All within a certain amount of range. The wheel and the decoupler have to be done on an escape trajectory, and the ion engine has to be in orbit. Hopefully we'll be coming around to the light side of the planet so I can send that transmission. There we are. We'll just wait for our signal to pop now. Turn down the ambient light just a touch. Now this has got a lot of science on it. As you can see, it's got a scanner for the ground and a soil collector. And hopefully, if everything goes according to plan, I may even bring this back. I don't know. Starting transmission. Delete on close. And fire. Now my aiming for this is going to be about a 60 to 80 kilometer orbit. Now hopefully, once I'm out there, I just have to get it into a quick little orbit, and then I can go ahead and go back into an escape. try to stay on that maneuver node as best we can. Oops. Well, that'll work. Okay. Oh, we have more science. Let's go ahead and send that. As you can see, I have the orbital telescope again, right here. And that's actually going to get me a lot of science. Let's go ahead and also add a sphere of influence change at 1 second. And this should be getting me to Mun in a little bit. So now, I know it's a lot of back and forth, but it's a little easier. So with that, we'll come back to here. I don't know why this keeps saying Watchtower. Wow, that says we're going really fast. I'm going to go ahead and cut and come back once we're within docking range, so that way you guys don't have to sit here and watch all that. So I'll be back in just a bit. Okay, I'm back. Had a little problem. I apparently drained all the fuel out of my tanks again. But that's okay. We can use RCS to power ourselves down to a docking procedure. So we'll just leave this the way it is. And we'll be docking on the bright side of the planet, which is always a bonus. I'm just trying to keep our velocity vector, or retrograde marker rather, facing the station. That way I can just slow down as I need. Let's slow down to about 4 meters a second. And we'll check. 0.1. Oops. And then once we're within 400 meters, we'll slow down to 2 meters a second, roughly. And then once we're at 200 meters, we'll slow down to 1 meter a second. Let's go ahead and kick up time a little bit. Station's coming right into view. Let's go ahead and bring this back over. Kind of keep ourselves... Oh, there we go. And now we'll slow down to 2 meters a second. Oops. And that should put us right at, still at 0. All I'm doing is I'm trying to keep this locked right onto here. So that way, as it gets closer, I can just slow right down to nothing, and then I can push myself towards it. Hopefully. It's a pretty standard dock by the looks of it. But considering I have no rocket fuel left, I had just barely enough to slow me down to where I'm at now. And actually the station passed me, so I had to play catch up a little bit. But we should be fine. Need to stay pointed. Got that retro. Okay, so go ahead and let's rotate. This way the docking port is oops, I'm rotating the wrong way, aren't I? Haha. Okay, well. Gotta get it just on that nice little spot there. Because I'm coming in at the opposite side of the station by the looks of it. Oops. I want to push out in the way. And then come back in. Push ourselves out and away again. Okay. Okay, I'm going to cut here and get ourselves lined up for docking. So I'll be back in a bit. Okay, and I'm back now. I think I've pretty much got it all lined up. Moving at a meager 3/10 of a meter per second. And our docking ports should be aligned. And there it is. So, with that, we can go ahead and detach this guy. We'll decouple his node here. I'm going to go ahead and control from there. And control from here. And just get myself away. And see if we can't burn ourselves out of orbit. There we go. That's fine for now. I'll deal with that later. So, with this, let's go ahead and deploy, which will make that much larger. Water is running out. Should not be running out. Deploy this. Not enough compost. Composter, running. Activate habitat, running. Activate purify. I think that's the one. Let's go ahead and turn off Kerbal Engineer for right now. And we will look and see. Where's our water? Water is running out. Holy. Wasn't thinking I was that low on water. Why do I feel like I'm in the wrong mode? So there's our start of our base. With its 3 modules. And hopefully, water can start being produced. Just sit here and wait for it and see what we have. Water remaining 145 days. I don't think it's running out. Oh, I see why. It's using this as part of its calculation. Okay. So it thinks it's running out, but it's actually not. Okay. Made me panic there for a second. Because now we have enough space for 2,000... Okay, yeah, we have lots of water. We're not that concerned. We just have a lot of storage for water now. So let's see here. Purify. Now, what we need to do is bring up more Kerbals at some point. But that'll be for another day. I'm going to let this run for a little bit. And see how much we can get out of it. Now this should have enough for about 4 Kerbals, maybe 3. I think it's 3 because of the new stats until these get changed. Got tons of parts. Waiting to see if we get any more biomass. Running. We're running at about 25% efficiency. And actually, we can come down here. We've got tons of those, so let's go ahead and... where is it? Deactivate command, because we have enough punch cards. Which should put this at 100 and this at about 37.5. Now I'm going to time warp up ever so slightly. Where's my water? Okay, and I'm just going to see if we're producing water or if we're losing water. And that is going up. That's a good sign. Food is going up. Oxygen, though, is going down. So... let's see here. Where's greenhouse? Greenhouse. Greenhouse is on. Greenhouse is producing oxygen. We're making food. We're making water. Our base, technically right now, is self-sufficient. That is a good thing. Let's check our power. Electric? Where's it? Fuel. Okay, I don't see electric charge. Should be on there. Should be a slightly high number too. Oh, here we are, slightly high number. So, yep, we have our start of our base, which is now to some degrees self-sufficient. Although it is running low on electric charge because we are crossing the nighttime part of the planet. But we should be fine with that. And once that, if that does become a problem, I'd have a simple fix for that. But next up, we actually will probably need another greenhouse and another module. Mostly so that way it's balanced. But for now, guys, I'm going to leave it here. If you liked the episode, please like, favorite, and subscribe. Leave comments, of course, as always. And until next time, have fun.